welcome back to my channel, and today's design is a super sparkly snowy glitz design. So Lottie's all prepped, ready to go, and I have applied the gorgeous stiletto tips from Gems, which are available from the nail team, and then as I always do, I'm going to go in with my Perfect Nails clear acrylic and apply my thin clear base before I get started on the design. And the brush I'm using today is my absolute favourite brush. It's the Crystal Nails size 6. I love a small brush and this one is just perfect. Although occasionally for these longer nails, when I come to cap them at the end, I will use the size 8, just to let you know. So I'm going to finish applying my thin clear base, and then we will be back and get into the design. So this is actually quite a simple design and I'm not using much for it, but I'm starting off with Cover Boomer. This is another one of the core acrylics from Perfect Nails, and I'm just going to apply this to the ring finger and the middle finger just as a nail bed colour. So applying it at the cuticle, pressing it back in to get a nice neat flush cuticle line, and then just fading it past what would be the natural free edge. Just to add a little bit more coverage and depth, I'm just adding another bead over top just to intensify that colour, and then I'll do the same on the middle finger. Now the Cover Boomer acrylic is a really nice soft nail bed colour, and paired with the Boomer white you can create some beautiful baby Boomer nails, but I do like to use it on its own when I just want something at the nail bed. You're not going to see most of this, but I just wanted it there. So when I'm happy with that, it doesn't need much to be happy, it's just there for a little bit of colour, I'm going to start adding the glitz. So this is the day 3 glitter from the Nail Team Advent Calendar. It's got a lot of sparkle in it, and I really love it. And I've also got the day 2 Snowflakes, which I'm going to be applying on top. So on the pinky and the index finger, these are going to be exactly the same, and I'm just applying that glitter right from the cuticle down, fading it into the tip. I'm not completely covering the tip because I want to have a little bit of clear nail coming through, so I'm just fading it out, and as you can see this glitter has got a little bit of everything in it, so I didn't want to do too much with the design because there was so much going on in the glitter. I wanted that to take centre stage. On the ring finger I am doing a bit of a swoosh down, and I'm just keeping this bit more of a sparse coverage because I'm going to apply some crystals at the end of this design just for a little bit of something extra. And then I'm going to do similar on the middle finger, and then the same as the pinky on the index finger. So with these really chunky acrylics, I work with them as the raw glitter, picking up a small wet bead of clear acrylic and then dipping into that glitter, and I find it better if you work in small amounts. And you can also try and pick up some of the chunkier pieces individually and place them where you want them, and then just use the tip of my brush to move things around until I am happy with the placement, and then move on to the next nail and let that glitter set in place before doing anything else. So I'm going to finish applying the glitter on these last 2 nails, and then we'll be back to add some snowflakes. So now the glitter is all applied, we need to add the snowflakes. So I'm going in with a wash of clear acrylic. This is my glue, and then picking up a couple of snowflakes. I like to tip them out onto my kitchen roll, make it much easier to pick them up, placing them where I want them. And then I've got some plastic here, and I'm going to use that to help me stick them down. Now it can be a little bit fiddly, you might have to replace the snowflakes, but this allows you to really stick them to the nail without touching any product. So you just need to hold it there until the acrylic sets. Now as you can see, that bottom snowflake hadn't stuck, it moved around, and because it is a wash of clear acrylic, it does dry that little bit quicker. So I just went in with a touch more, but only a little bit because you don't want to add bulk, and just repeating the process. Now it can be a little bit fiddly, but it's much easier than using your brush to hold them down or your finger and touching the product. But it is cold, and the practice hands don't have any body heat, so it is a little bit slower on one of these. But you can use your own fingers and thumbs to use your body heat to help. And then when you're happy that they are completely stuck down, you can just pull the plastic wrap away and move on to the next nail. Don't worry if the plastic has left sort of any indents in the clear acrylic. That will fill in when you encapsulate, but even if it doesn't, it adds like an icy frosty effect, so I'm quite happy with that. And then I'm going to repeat the process, but I'm missing out the ring finger. And I want my snowflakes to be at different places of the nail. I want some in the middle, some on an edge. And if they are hanging over, just use your scissors or some nippers and clip away the excess before you come to encapsulate. And I don't want each nail to be the same. Obviously they're not anyway, but I'm just putting the snowflakes in different places. Just making sure all of the little bits of my snowflake are stuck down. Don't be afraid to go in with a touch more acrylic, keep it nice and wet though, and then back on top with your plastic wrap. If you're working on a client, you could clip the plastic wrap in place so you can move on, or you could even ask your client to hold it. But it's a great way of applying big glitter pieces to the nail without having to touch the acrylic itself. So I'm just finishing off with the last nail, the pinky, and exactly the same. No, this is the index. I can't tell my nails from my fingers from one to the other. So just applying them in place. As you can see, I'm trying to get them to hang over the edge, and then I'm going to hold them down. And then when all my snowflakes are stuck into place, we will cap them in clear acrylic. Now I have done that off camera, and then I have filed them to shape also off camera, so neatened up my sidewalls, got a nice point to the stiletto, and then refined the surface. And then when all of that's done, we'll be back just to finish these nails off. And here they are, all filed and ready to add those finishing touches. As I said, we've only used a few products on these nails, but I love how they are looking. They'd be quite nice if you matte top coat them, but you know me, I do like a bit of shiny. So now we're going to go in with that Perfect Nails top gel, and we are going to bring them back to life. And here you are going to really see the glitzy side of these Snow Glitz nails. As with any nails I do with a glassy tip, I'm just swiping the brush underneath. And I did give these nails a good dust off and clean before top coating. I just did that off camera for a change. So when the top coat is applied and you can really appreciate the glitter and the snowflakes now, we're going to cure for 60 seconds and then I'm going to add a touch more bling to that ring finger. So I've got a selection of crystals from Crystal Parade, different shapes, sizes, colours, and I am using my gel glue. This is another Perfect Nails product, and a micro swab to apply the crystals. I'm using sort of some opal ones, some clear AB ones, and I'm just applying them. I've got no plan on what I'm doing. I knew I wanted to use some shapes and then just build the design around that, which is exactly what I've done. Now this glue is great. It is a gel, which means until you cure it you have time to move those crystals around and get them in exactly the right place you want them. So what I do tend to do is flash cure 2 or 3 times throughout if I'm adding a lot of crystals, just to hold them in place so don't worry about them moving, which is what I've just done. And then I'm going in with a touch more of that gel glue and then just building up my crystal design. I'm very much one of those people that just goes with the flow, and just get a load of crystals out and just see where it takes me. So I don't really have an idea. I've said in numerous videos I start with the big crystals and I build the design around that, and that's exactly what I've done here. So I'm just going to finish applying these, as I said, flash cure and then apply some more. And then that will be the end of this design. Now don't forget, if you are working on an actual client, you want to finish off with cuticle oil at the end. Especially in the cold weather, this is such an important thing to do because you have completely dehydrated everything and you want to get that hydration back. And then that would be the end of your service, and that's the end of this design. Once the last crystals are applied, I'm going to give them a full 60-second cure, and here is my Snow Glitz design completely finished. So I do hope you've enjoyed this video and like this set. If so, please give it a thumbs up and make sure you click that subscribe button. All the product details are in the description box, but it's pretty much all from the nail team or Crystal Parade for the bling. I will see you again in another video very, very soon, but bye! Mwah!